Okay, so I want to address court corruption and how they railroad you. And then they're lied to you and tell you, oh, uh, this state and another state both do not work together and they do not have any dealings court-wise one with another. Yeah, and then you go to court and then they transfer you from that court to another state's court and then they both put you on some kind of thing, put charges against you. So, we're talking about the corruption of a sheriff's department located in West Virginia, Princeton, West Virginia. Yep. How they ignore people's constitutional rights. When you mention anything about it, they'll tell you, go F your Constitution and your constitutional rights. They've told me just that. And then when I went to the court, the lawyer that they shuffled in there on me, which is now went from their free lawyer, state's attorney over there, a two state's attorney, from what he was doing, court-appointed attorney. So he lied and he told me that he couldn't tell me anything about how Virginia operated because he wasn't licensed to do any court cases in Virginia. But then later when I looked him up, his thing says he's licensed in Virginia and West Virginia to practice law. So everything that West Virginia tried to charge me with was dropped. And then I went to Virginia, Tazewell County, and the Bluefield, Virginia cops, which is Tazewell County Police, they violated my rights. I told them I was traveling in the private, doing no commerce, and I didn't have any state labeled tags on my vehicle. My tag in the back said DOT exempt, doing not for hire and doing no commerce, and it read private across it. And then my front tag had law stating where it was legal for me to travel without plates on my vehicle. They still proceeded to try to rip my door open violently to try to harm me, and me having PTSD real bad, kind of flipped out and was freaked out because after living my whole life under an abusive father and then abusive family members after that, and then the foster home being abused continuously, I was scared and I left from where the cop had pulled me over. So then he chased me all the way back to my house, held me at gunpoint. Now, I've never had a criminal charge a day in my life. Never done anything to get in any trouble. So, held me at gunpoint like some kind of hardened criminal, forced me to comply, took me against my will, basically under duress and coercion, made me comply, kidnapped me, and held me for a ransom. And I could get no justice because the lawyer they give me over there in Tazewell, he tells me, oh, everything's okay. They put me off for, betterment of 6 months or so, almost a year. And then they finally took me in there and then they told me, well, there's nothing we could do in this court. And they dismissed everything in the one courtroom. Then they sent me downstairs, told me I was going to a grand jury. There was no court recorder. There was no grand jury. There was just that lawyer, their state's attorney, and the judge that they had there. So basically forced me into a plea deal, again, under threat, duress, and coercion. Now they got me on a year's probation, and I have to pay $1,228. Now, I live on disability and barely surviving. And I had let them know my income status, and yet they still want me to pay that money. And I have absolutely no way to pay it and no idea how it's going to happen. And I give it all to God, and I know God's going to allow it to happen. I've tried to find somebody to help me pro bono that knows the law, that could do something to maybe overturn that. I didn't have any court ADA to help me understand the proceedings and what was going on. They had me sign stuff and didn't explain it or tell me what it meant. Just told me to look at it and figure it out. And I believe that's all court violations. If anybody out there could help me or knows anything about what could be done to get this taken off of my record, get my name cleared from this stupidness, that'd be wonderful. Hit me up in the comments, follow from the bottom up, like, share, comment, repost, and I'll do the same for your stuff. Thank you and God bless.